Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Kurtzing here with a Master League battle video. I've got Groudon on the lead with Kyurem as a safe swap and Ho-Ho as the closer. I've done a lot of videos with Ho-Ho. I wanted to use Kyurem because with a Nova Tour coming up, everybody's going to be after that and looking to be able to get the black and white Kyurems, so I figured why not. It's also rated relatively good for Master League. So I got Dragon Claw and Glaciate on it. Gonna go for Dragon Claw here against the Dialga. Let's go over this here. They shield. I'm gonna go for Glaciate now. Obviously, it's probably not the best move because it is resisted against the Steel typing. It's kind of neutral, but it does have that opponent attack drop. So it does drop their Dragon Breaths and Iron Tails, stuff like that, or Iron Head. Come back in with Groudon, which is going to work out well. Roar Time would do a decent amount, but if they go for an Iron Head, it's not going to do too much. They switch into a Kyogre, and a lot of you might be watching this and saying, hey, Kyogre's going to be a problem for this team. Well, if you can get to a Precipice Blades, I find that a lot of people don't actually shield their Kyogres from a Groudon, and it does huge damage. Like, takes it out. So that's a nice little thing there that a lot of people don't seem to shield those. So now you got a Shadow Ho-Oh, both have a shield, and it's kind of a tricky matchup, right? If you throw Brave Bird first and they shield, then you're really in trouble. So I do go for a Sacred Fire, Sneak and Incinerate, which is big. I think I'm going to shield this as well. Yes, I do. They go Sacred Fire back. So now both down shields. I throw the Brave Bird and they make a beautiful catch onto their Groudon. Was it Groudon? No, it was Dialga. Onto their Dialga. So now they come back in, and I'm viciously trying to switch onto my Groudon to catch a potential Brave Bird. I feel like, though, they had it earlier than that, so I feel like they were probably trying to get to back-to-back Brave Birds, and either I win the CMP tie there, or they overclicked or something like that, and I get to the Brave Bird and take them out. So very close game, but I do manage to hang on and win that one. Hopping right into the next match here, Groudon into Necrozma. Very positive matchup for myself. Precipice Blades would, I'm certain, would one shot. Fire Punch would also do a very good amount against the Steel typing. Sun Steel Strike would do a lot, but I do shield just in case they bring in their own Groudon. So I'm going to go for the Precipice Blades here. This is obviously going to do a lot if they let it go, but they do decide to shield. So I kind of late switched here, let them get a bunch of energy, but they do just try to bait with a Fire Punch, which is okay. I did not realize at the time that they were running Dragon Tail, so that's shredding through my Kyurem. They get to another Fire Punch here, gonna let it go, and do manage to get to a Glaciate. This is gonna do huge damage unless they decide to use their last shield. They do let it go, so that's a very good thing for myself. Get their attack drop, and did a huge amount of damage. They did do a couple more Dragon Tails and then switch out. So they've got some energy loaded. I'll need to watch for that later. Throw the Precipice Blades into their Garchomp. Gonna go for a Fire Punch here, literally looking for the shield. I want their shield, get the shield, switch into my Ho-Ho now, and unless they go for an Outrage, I'm pretty safe here. Outrage still wouldn't take me out. Sand Tomb. I'm in a bit of a sticky situation here. I don't want to throw all the energy for a Brave Bird just to take him out, but I'm forced to take a move here. On the off chance that I'm debuffed and now it's an Outrage, I do throw up the shield. It is just a Sand Tomb. But now I'm feeling really not so good. No shields, and I know they have some energy. They bring in Necrozma. I go for the Sacred Fire here. Half expected for them to show Necrozma and then switch into Groudon and look to catch that. But they didn't for whatever reason, so good game there. Into the next match here, you got Groudon into Zygarde. And this is, again, a fairly favorable matchup for myself. Bulldoze would do super effective, but it's a pretty trash move, so it doesn't hit that hard. Precipice Blades, as you can see, gets them into the yellow, does pretty much half health. I do believe that I let this go. I was like, they farmed up a lot though, so I'm a little bit concerned. First, they get the defense drop right away too, which is a little unfortunate. Gonna go for another Blades here. This is gonna take them out if they don't want a shield. They do throw out the shield. So I'm going to switch into Kyurem, yet again, not realizing the Dragon Tail is super effective against a dragon, right? Like, come on. So they start shredding me, but they decide to switch out into Necrozma. So, which is not ideal because Glaciate is not going to do very much, neither is Dragon Claw or Dragon Breath. But what I do get is the attack drop. However, the Sunsteel Strike is going to one-shot me if they get to that. I'm going to call it though, or just simply let it go. Takes me out. Come in with Ho-Ho. I do have 2 good answers here for that, so I didn't really want to waste my last shield. Let this Dark Pulse go through. Doesn't do too much damage. I want to farm this thing down, and I don't quite farm it down. They get to another Dark Pulse here. And let it go again. So I do have energy loaded here. Both have a shield. Do have my Groudon. They bring in Zygarde again, and I go for the Sacred Fire as I was full on energy there. I think that Incinerate might have actually been wasted. They throw the shield, so I'm gonna go into Groudon and either try to catch or make them throw. And they've got a Tapu Bulu in the back, which does not want to see Ho-Oh. But this Fire Punch is actually going to do a huge amount of damage. I'm really not sure what they're doing here. I think they're trying to full farm me down so that they have a move. And unfortunately for them, that allows me to get to another Fire Punch, which takes them out. And then they got Zygarde in the back again. I do still have a shield, and I've got the Brave Bird. So even if they had thrown right away there, I would have been able to shield and been totally okay. So Brave Bird goes through and takes them out. It's a good match there. Hopping right into the next match here. Kyogre on the lead. So this I do want to switch right away. I've shown that I can beat the Kyogre later on in the match, depending on shields and energy and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I'm counting on here. Get out of the lead there and try to get them shields down, basically. And I'm lucky enough here that I'm able to get to another Dragon Claw. So this should get their last shield, which is going to be huge for me. Because if this gets their last shield, now I can let them take me out, come in with Groudon again, and this will allow me to get a bunch of energy. Expecting they'll go Superpower, which will do a decent amount. I probably should have actually shielded that first one and then let the next one go through. But knowing that they've got that Kyogre, I kind of didn't want to commit the shields. They actually get impatient and they switch right as I'm ready to throw the Precipice Blades. So I'm able to land that and switch into my Ho-Ho right away to Incinerate down, because Incinerate, although it's water against fire, does more damage than the Mudshots do. And then in the back, they've got a Moltres. I could throw immediately right there and take them out with a Brave Bird, but I wanted to save my defense, basically, because I figured at some point I'm going to have to take a move here. What was their lead Pokemon? Dragonite. So I'm going to have to take a move from Dragonite somewhere, so I didn't really want to debuff myself. And sure enough, they bring in Dragonite here, and I'm actually able to farm down. I figured they had a move. So probably could have Brave Bird saved myself some trouble there. Into the next match here. Another favorable lead for myself. Necrozma into the Groudon. They switch into their own Groudon. It's funny how I have not been seeing Groudons at all. Then I put this team together with a Groudon in it, and they're everywhere. They're on everybody's teams. So I swear that when you make a team, it kind of matches you against players with. I've heard this before by other people that you kind of get matched. Like if you pick whatever Pokemon, it kind of puts you into a tier of where you're like matching against a certain tier of Pokemon. It's not just like all completely random, but who knows? Who knows? It's just interesting how um, you'll go and not see a single Pokemon of a certain type, and then you make a team either that's really weak to that or to counter it or whatever, and that's then all you see. So it's just interesting. Uh, so I didn't actually take out their Groudon. They switched back into Necrozma here. Gonna go for Glaciate. Little, and I'm not ranting in a like that I'm upset. I just think it's really interesting um, how it all works. How you can go from like never seeing a Pokemon to seeing it every single battle for 5 battles or something. It's just interesting. So they've got a bunch of energy here now. Gonna bring in Ho-Oh, looking to farm down. The Sunsteel Strike is a hard hitting move, but it doesn't really threaten. Dark Pulse doesn't super threaten, so I can take 2 here and survive fairly comfortably. Looking to farm them down, come out with a Brave Bird. So that's a positive thing. And I do still have a lot of energy on my Groudon. And they got a Palkia in the back, so that's almost horrible because this is going to be really hard to beat. They do still have Shield too, and they use it. So now I'm forced to go back into Groudon. I mean, Precipice Blades is going to do a lot of damage. However, I pretty much have to let this go, right? Yeah, I know Shield does. It does huge damage. I am able to get to the Precipice Blades, but they switch into Groudon and they catch. I was so choked, and then they come back in and farm me down. So I do still have a shield, and Brave Bird will do a lot of damage, but I don't think it'll be enough. I needed to get that move off before. Oh, and it almost takes him out, but I get taken out from Dragon Breath. So good game there. Well played to my opponent. Close, super close, super close. Groudon into Veltal. Neutral, I'm gonna say. Kind of like neither one is gonna hit super, super, super effective against other one. I think I'd give the matchup to Veltal though. As you can see there, Precipice Blades does not do that much damage. Dark Pulse actually does noticeably more. So do switch out into the Kyurem. They answer with a Necrozma. So again, not the greatest. Gonna go for the Glaciate here to try to debuff their attacks. Do get the attack fall. Gonna need a drink of water here. Gonna throw the shield here. Just Dark Pulse. Another Glaciate. Gonna drop their attack again, I believe. I think it's in every time. It doesn't say a chance, it just says opponent drop. Attack drop. Yeah, attack fell there as well. So I'm gonna just let this one go through. Even if it's Sunsteel Strike, I'm just gonna let it go. Dark Pulse. So that's looking pretty good. Now I can fully farm down a shield. But I do have another Glaciate loaded. So that's a pretty big bonus there. They are going to shield that though. So now pretty much, yeah, just let this go. No point in trying to save this thing now. Dark Balls comes through. Now I can bring in Ho-Oh, and they have their own Groudon. So now I kind of have the advantage here. Fire Punch is not going to do much. Precipice Blades does quite a bit to a Ho-Oh in comparison to what it does to the Veltal there, but still not. I don't need shield. I think Oblivion Wing would do more. So they let that Sacred Fire go. Kind of surprised me a little bit, but they probably know that their win con is with a Veltal. If they're going to pull this out, throw the Sacred Fire and get their shield and an attack drop. So I'm just going to let this go. Save my shield. I think they kind of tried to undercharge that. They got an extra whatever they're using, Sucker Punch or something like that. But I'm able to come in and incinerate down. So kind of a close match there. I think this might be the last battle if you guys are still watching. I'm recording this a couple nights before we're heading out to LA. If you guys are still watching, we will be playing the in-person event on the Saturday. So, and then strolling around town and stuff like that on Friday and on Sunday. So I look forward to seeing everybody there, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Let me know in your comments what you're looking forward to about the event, whether it's this weekend or next weekend. And I just missed a massive boom. Precipice Blades to that Mewtwo. Gonna go for another Blades here against their Giratina. Likely gonna shield this one now. They're like, oh man. Yeah, they shield. I do think I pivot into Kyurem here. I'll let this move go through, and then I'll be looking to pivot, I believe. Unless I want to just get completely farmed down, taken out. Go for another Blades here. Look to either inflict a lot of damage or get their last shield. Let's see here. Yeah, get their last shield. And I'm taken out. So now I'm not locked in if they decide to leave. This is a positive match for myself. Oops. Dragon Breath is going to be doing more than the Shadow Claws. As you can see there, I do have a Dragon Claw, or Shadow Claw, yeah. So Dragon Claw is going to take them out. Trying to look for, like, that they didn't catch there. And then they've got a Florges in the back, so this is pretty much game over for them. They just don't know it yet. I do stay in long enough to throw the Glaciate to get their attack dropped as well. Do whatever damage it can. And at this point, actually, I do stay in even longer. I'm going to basically force them to drain their energy, or I'm going to get to another Glaciate. So through all the Moonblast, and now I can come in and I'll get to a Brave Bird easily here. Another Moonblast or whatever is not going to take me out. Moonblast is the hardest hitting move they have, and it does almost nothing, and I think they gave up. Yeah, they gave up right there. But I still got to the Brave Bird, and I throw that. I almost feel like I've lost my voice here. So that's that. I think I combined two different sets. Fun team. Not so sure, again, that I would use it for climbing. I think I went 3 and 2 and 3 and 2. Got a nice Enamorous on the victory there. Never did get a good one, so I'm still not going to make one yet. Was trying, but never got I've got one that I could make, but it's like a 93% or something. So for Master League, I'd really like a 4-star or at least much closer than I have. But yeah, anyways, thanks for watching. Good luck out there with all your battles. The season's coming to an end, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.